Hey, this is Allie Edwards and welcome to December Daily 2018 Day 1. I am back again to share my stories with you guys over the course of the season and to share how I take my single daily stories and bring them together into my album overall. There's another video already up that shows kind of how my album has started and kind of what I have done already in there in terms of getting ready to tell stories this season. For day 1, what I decided to do is, this is the first time I think ever that I had Christmas cards ready before December. And so today I am telling the story of getting those out before December, which is a great reminder that stories that you tell in this album can be stories from other times. December Daily doesn't equal a story that happened that day necessarily. It can be a story from yesterday, a story from tomorrow. Tonight we are going to a really fun symphony event, and that will probably be my story for tomorrow because I can't tell the story until I've lived the story, right? So today we're gonna start with this. And so what I did was I took a picture of my envelopes on the counter in my kitchen. And I took a story, one with one of the names on there and the other one that was blank. So I intentionally left space here to be able to fill in my words. So in Photoshop, I added my words before I printed this out. So my story is already included on here. I also left space up on the top to be able to either add a title, letter stickers, stamps, and I think I'm gonna stamp is what I'm gonna try to do. What you'll see here is this is the size of the page protectors. And I actually have just a piece of cardstock that I had already put in here. It's basically the size of the page protectors because I want it to be a full page story. And then I'm also going to include our actual card, what the card ended up looking like, and a little story about that as well. Because part of the story here and part of what I included in the journaling is that on my birthday, which is in early November, I said what I wanted for my birthday was to just have a photo of all of us together. And so that day we took the photo, I came inside, we used a timer on my camera, and uploaded it immediately and or my cards right then. So I actually had them super early in the season. So if you remember here, we've got my intentions page where I talked about that. This was already in there with the cork and the white with the stencil there. And so this page is gonna go right in here like this, and then my card, the card itself, is going to get hole punched, and I'll show you that in a minute. So when I print out these full pages, I just print them on 8.5 by 11, and then I just trim it out using my trimmer here. So I'll just kind of share that process with you. Again, what I'm thinking about, there's a couple things I'm thinking about here. One is that space, that blank space up above, you know, I could have added journaling there. So that was one option for me. Another option was to do the journaling right there on that blank envelope, which is what I ended up doing. So what I want to put on the top is some sort of a title, some sort of a sentiment. I keep thinking of like, oh yeah, it's going to be something celebratory because I'm celebrating the fact that I sent out Christmas cards early, which made me very happy. Let's see. So I'm still kind of thinking about that, but ah yeah is what kept coming to mind. I thought about big giant letter stickers, but I think what I'm going to try to do is stamp on here using some letter stamps, and I have a couple different options that I'm choosing from. One is a mixed alpha, this one we have in the shop, so that would be what that would end up looking like. I also have a lowercase sans serif. These are not available in the shop right now, but that's something that I might use, or I may use the educational insights stamps. Let me pull those out too. They're one of my favorites as well. They have a couple different sizes, but I would probably be using the bigger size of those. So one of those is going to get used to stamp onto the photo itself. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to be using Stays On because that's what I like to use on slick surfaces. Again, this is going to get hole punched. I printed this out with the knowledge that it's totally possible that I may have to do this again because I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out. Obviously, you could also put a title on here in Photoshop before you printed it out, because I did that with those words, but I wanted to have some extra element of interactivity. I'm gonna go ahead and punch, use the hole punch to punch the holes. This is a 6-hole punch. You can get this on Amazon. I'll link it below. This is the one that I use to be able to have things fit into my albums here. So now we have the beginning of this page, and then whatever tomorrow, some sort of something from the symphony will probably be what will be on this page, and I'll have something else happening in those little circles there. So that's essentially what it's gonna look like with the card in there too. I just need to figure out what I want to add on the top there. So that's what you'll see when you open the album itself. So let's go ahead and play around with this stamping idea. I also wanted to see if there was some sort of embellishment that I wanted to add on there as well. Maybe a star or some other fun sort of thing. So I'm going to look through there and then we'll get started. Okay, so I am deciding that I'm going to use the mixed alpha, and we'll play around with that. One of the things that's kind of fun with this is you can lay it out on here a little bit to kind of see like where is this going to go. And part of what I want to invite here is a little bit of messiness and be okay with that. So, but I also want to kind of know where is my H going to be, which will help me as I put down my A there. So this is, again, it stays on, great for photo paper. I'm using glossy photo paper, that's what I use. This was printed on my Canon MG7720, I think is the number, and there is a new version of that available, or a new model number that's a similar one. There we go. So that's a pretty good, we're gonna need that A again. So I'm going with "Aw yeah," because that's how I felt about getting these out earlier, which, like I said, is not normal. Just happened to be, I was super specific about wanting that to happen right around my birthday. So let's go like this. And I'm just pressing, even press there to get it down as much as possible. Okay, so then the other letters on here, the Y is small, so and the E is big. So I kind of just want to lay it out so I can see a little bit of where it's going to be. Y-E. So I want, and this for me is the planning part, right, of kind of seeing visually like, where is this going to go? Where do I want? If I'm doing that right there, then how's it all gonna fit? So a little bit of before placement. Yeah, and for me mainly it's kind of the E, like once I establish where that E is, which I think probably right about there, I'm actually gonna do the E first. So coming down into the middle of that H. Or so, right? There we go. Looks like it had a little spot. I think the E had a little dot on it. Yeah, that's okay. All right, so let's do the Y. I like with this particular stamp set that you can play around with the letters and kind of tuck them in. See how like the Y got tucked into the E right there? That's part of the fun of playing with ones that are different sizes. Okay, get the A on there. Oh yeah. I'll probably be saying this all day. Okay, cool. I like how that turned out. Oh yeah. Okay, so again, that could be done if you don't have these stamps. You can use letter stickers, you can use some sort of embellishment that has a title on it, whatever, or you could have your longer journaling. You could handwrite journaling up on the top too. Obviously that is an option there. Let's see if I want to add any other little embellishments on there. Just gonna look through the ones we have, maybe one of those little small stars. Sometimes I like to save stuff for later in the season. Let's see. Got those hearts, that could be on there. Maybe one of these, let's see that, maybe one of those chipboards. You have some wood stars actually that are really fun too. Something like that maybe would go on both sides. These wood stars were an add-on to Stories by the Month. That definitely makes it kind of more fun, more Christmassy. So if you have like the fabric stars or the transparent stars or these little gold stars, something like that would work on there too. I'm gonna go with those red ones. Or the other thing that I was looking at here was one of these, like the one that says yes to this. If you're wanting to add more on there. But I think I'm just gonna keep it simpler like that. Let's see. And I am actually going to stamp, I know it says day 1, but I'm gonna put it on there. All right, so I was gonna add the date, just using a rolling date stamp. I'm gonna put it down in the bottom corner here. Simple and easy. Okay, and then I'm just gonna adhere these guys with rolling adhesive. I like to use the Scotch dot and roller. Okay. Now, I might want to use red line tape for that. For these ones, I'm just thinking as I'm doing this, partly because these are on a page that is not in a page protector. So it's possible that they would fall off. So I'll probably do that at some point here. So this goes in here, and our Christmas card is going to go on top of that. Let's just punch the holes here. Get it about even. Okay, so then we have the photo there with the story for day 1 about Christmas cards. A lot of times I've included my Christmas cards later in the season, obviously, because I would get them later and I would send them later. But this time felt like it was a great idea to do it now. I also love Avery index tabs, which are great for kind of designating that there's a little something else, or giving you somewhere to pull from, right? An opportunity to grab on right here. So I'm going to put this, becomes like a pull tab kind of. And then I'm gonna pull out the Christmas stamps. I'm gonna find those and then see what kind of sentiment we have on one of these. Let's see, what do we want to put on here? I know there's the one, might not have that one, I think I'm going to use this one. This is from the handwritten stamp set this time. And there's one here I think that's going to fit that says, "Bring on the spirit of the season of joy." See if we can get that to fit. Most of the time when I put something on here, I mean, I could use, there's one that says Our December. Maybe I'll do both. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. That could go on the other side and I could put Our December here on the other side. Give me an option. Cute. Cute, fun. Okay, great. So that is my day one there. Again, reminders to you guys as you get started on this project. This project does not have to be complicated. I mean, part of the thing for me of having the focus on one day is giving myself some parameters so that it isn't all over the place, it doesn't become overwhelming, and there is always, always, always a story to be told every day, even if it is just walking around your house and picking out something that you are thankful for and then telling that story in this album. That, excuse me, totally works as well. So I'm gonna call that one good. Day one in the books, and I'll see you guys back here for day two.